Hey Warriors fans, I'm Scott Warris for WLCSports.com. We have a men's basketball player of the week in the NACC, and it's Jacob Stoltz. And look, he's here with us right now. Jay, congratulations on last week. You guys had the big win over Stevens Point. You get career point 1,000. I mean, as great nights in your sport go, that had to be a pretty good night, all told. Just take us through it, everything that went into that big win and your personal accomplishment.
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me. Tuesday night was a lot of fun. We were able to get a really good win against a really good WIAC team. We were able to shoot the three ball pretty well. Had some role players like Noah Hauer and Ben Lubber step up for us, hit a bunch of threes in the first half. And we had guys like Ephraim Elbers, Nate Lukey, who stepped in for Ryan Bruckle once again in the foul trouble and really actually helped us push that lead. So overall, it was just a really good team win. Obviously, being able to pass 1,000 is just a blessing. Having all my friends and family there really meant a lot.
Yeah, so 20-point win over Stevens Point. Oh, by the way, first time the Warriors have ever beaten the Pointers. You have 23 points and 7 rebounds. 23 points was a game high. All right, I was deciding whether we talk the win over Point or the 1,000 points thing. Let's go Point first. To have that caliber of an opponent, and you have another WIAC school coming in here in a couple weeks in lacrosse, and to handle them the way you did, I mean, it was, you ran away and you hid from them. What does that say about the potential for this team this year? Yeah,
I mean, I think something that's super huge is the age in our group, having a lot of seniors, a lot of experience on our team, and, playing against a team like that, we knew right away we had to get off to a fast start. And once we, had role players step up, it really just gave us that energy to just keep going. And in the second half, they were coming at us a little bit, went on some runs, but that experience really just helped us separate from them.
I was going to ask, what is the key when at some point Stevens Point's going to make that charge, they're going to make that run, and you guys were always able to keep them kind of at arm's length? And I was going to ask what the key is, but maybe you answered it. It's the role players. It was a full team effort, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were prepared for them to come back in the second half. I mean, they're just too talented not to, make a run at it. So I think that knowing that was big for us, knowing that they were going to go on a run. And I mean, basketball is a game of runs. We knew they were going to come at some point. But staying calm under pressure when they were coming was definitely very big for us.
Okay, now to the personal achievement of becoming the 23rd member of the Wisconsin Lutheran College Men's Basketball 1,000-point club. And take us through that basket. You were going into halftime. I think you needed a couple points or so. You hit a 3 early in the second half to give you 1,000. Was that even on your mind at halftime, or is that just completely out of sight, out of mind with the game going on?
Yeah, I would say earlier in the day it was on my mind for sure. Friends and family coming, and it's they kept talking about it, and I'm just trying to focus on winning. But the nerves were definitely there, needing 12 points at the beginning of the game. It's kind of that middle range where it's I should probably score this, but you never know. And once we got to halftime, I believe I had 9 points, and I wasn't really focused on it. I was really just focused on winning the game. I knew it was probably going to come at some point in the second half. I didn't know it would be the first play, but it was nice just to get it out of the way.
It's a good way of putting it. Okay, so after the game, who's most excited? I default, I told you off the air, I default to mom being the most excited. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but what was the reaction by the family and friends? You had a great support system there that night.
Yeah, for sure. My mom, she was everywhere. She was super excited for me. My parents have been talking about it for a while, so they were super excited. But Coach A, he was really just proud of me. He's helped me so much that he was just almost like a proud father moment for him too. So. Teammates were super supportive, friends. It was truly an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was a great week, a great night, a great win, player of the week in the NACC. Where have you come the farthest, or the furthest, I should say, in terms of your career? I mean, you're a senior, a lot to accomplish this year. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to rush you out of here by any means.
Exactly.
But, you start looking back a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you assess where you've come as a student athlete here in your time?
Yeah, my career's had a lot of up and downs. But there's a lot that goes into it every single year. I think some things that I've learned throughout the years is, one, just trying to have fun. Too often I'm just trying to rush things, not necessarily having fun all the time. Coach A preaches it to me all the time, hey, just go out and have fun, because when I'm having fun out there, that's when I'm playing my best. And two, I think just not putting the pressure of the world on me. And that's the pressure I put on myself, not necessarily anybody putting any pressure on me. Too often I'm, thinking I got to score this many points, or I got to have this many assists, or I got to help my team in this type of way. But the reality of it is I have a really easy job with a lot of talented players around me. So I think that's kind of been a big difference for me this year is like I have an All-American next to me. I have a first team over here. Like I have a very easy job, and I think I'm starting to really notice that.
Mm-hmm. That's a really great point, a really good point. I was just going to get into that. I mean, from last year's team, 4 starters are back, 4 leading scorers are back. What was the conversation this summer? What was the narrative between you and your teammates? Not even anything with the coaching staff. Knowing how last year ended, knowing what's on the line this year and why you want this year to be different. What was that conversation like with all of you returning veterans?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we talked about is obviously, we ended the year last year on a really heartbreaking note. But something we really talked about this year was like, we got to get after it right away. Last year we struggled in the non-con, and we put ourselves in a position where we had to win that last game to get into the tournament. And this year, we're talking about, hey, let's win some of these early games in non-con. So when we do get back to that game against Norbert or whoever that is potentially this year, if we get there, there's not as much pressure in that game where we already know we solidified a spot in the tournament. So that's kind of just like early regular season, like let's get after it right away.
And the Warriors will. There's a matchup with Benedictine tonight as we tape this on Wednesday. 3 straight conference games. Here we go. Where did you want to get better, like individually this offseason? For all your accomplishments, and you're averaging basically 20 points so far this year, but where did you want to improve your game?
I would say the biggest thing was spot up 3-pointers. I didn't shoot the 3 ball. Even in my career, I haven't shot the way I've wanted to shoot it. And this year has just really been focusing on my form in the offseason, continue to get stronger, quicker, and overall just be a leader for everybody. Being the point guard, it's like you kind of got to, look around for everybody else, especially the younger guys. So I would say those are probably the key aspects of my game this year.
You talk about the younger guys, you talk about some of the role players, and you think about championship teams, college, pro, it doesn't matter. I mean, there are moments in games where it's a reserve off the bench, or it's somebody you don't expect to have a big game. Is there a guy or two maybe on this team that you see from your veteran perspective that maybe fans aren't too familiar with yet, but he or they could be sneaky good and have a big moment? Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to in that regards? Maybe somebody off the chart, so to speak.
I would say we have a few different guys that are like X factors. We have a freshman, Dom Hill, who's he's just a natural scorer. Was at Waukesha West last year being a freshman, who just has that natural scoring ability, which is huge to come off the bench. Along with Noah Howard, who you could see the other night kind of showcase his skills. Even a starter, AJ Voss, kind of bringing that energy for us is huge all the time. And then Austin Wagner, who's another great scorer on our team, who can really give us a bunch of points off the bench, which is huge.
Depth on championship teams is always vital. Okay, Jacob Stoltz, men's basketball NACC Player of the Week. I hold in my hand, in the time-honored tradition of these interviews that is going on almost a full year now, well, not even. I have 3 cards. On each card is a category of questions. Pick the card. I'll ask you the questions. No pressure.
Let's go with
This one. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And the category is food.
Okay.
Food. The first answer that comes to mind. Your favorite flavor / color Gatorade?
Man, that's a good question. I don't really have one. I'll probably go with white.
Okay. I don't even know what flavor that is.
Yeah, it's like cherry or something. I don't even know either.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
The one food item that makes you think holiday season?
Can you ask that again?
The one food item, when you see it or you taste it, it automatically makes you think about the holidays.
I would say my dad's homemade Jell-O. It's pretty good.
Okay. We have to have a taste test on a future episode here. Maybe bring some in. What is the strangest item you've ever eaten?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, strangest.
Yeah. Something weird, like bugs or anything. I don't know.
No, I've never had bugs. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Ostrich egg? Alligator?
I did have alligator
Oh.
this summer, actually. So
Oh.
I'll go with the
How
alligator.
did it taste?
I didn't like it. No,
No,
it
okay.
wasn't great.
Tastes like chicken.
Not for me.
Okay, rank these in order of preference.
Okay.
Green beans, broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
I'm a huge Brussels sprouts guy.
So that's number one. Power rankings,
Yeah,
as they
yeah.
were. Green beans and broccoli. Who comes in two?
If it's like cheesy broccoli, like
Okay.
if you're adding stuff with it, it depends. But I'll probably go broccoli second.
And then green beans
Yep.
comes in third. Okay, Jacob Stoltz. And the wild card question is this. Most recently joining the 1,000 point club, what is the most memorable basket that you've had getting to 1,000 points? Is there one basket that sticks out among all of them that ultimately got you 1,000 points?
It's easy to say, the last three-pointer. Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to go with the last
Okay.
three-pointer. I can't really think of another one
not
that
bad.
would be that memorable.
He did, off the air, he did vividly remember his first basket here with Wisconsin Lutheran, which is pretty impressive stuff. Jake,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
congratulations. Thanks for your time. He is the men's basketball player of the week in the NACC. Warriors and Benedictine, Wednesday night. Thanks for watching.